Hej, siemano wam wszystkim ludzie, z tej strony Arturo, witam was na swoim kanale i kontynuujemy Memento Mori 2. Udało nam się uciec z mieszkania Laury, uciekliśmy za pomocą prowizorycznej linii zrobionej z pościeli. Trafiliśmy na dach budynku, niestety nie możemy go opuścić. Mamy tutaj drzwi, które są zablokowane kłódką. Odwiedziliśmy też klatkę z narzędziami, z której wyjęliśmy... No właśnie, taki element, elektroda spawalnicza.
If I didn't see the servicemen in action one or two times, I wouldn't have had any idea what this was used for.
I nie mam zielonego pojęcia, co mógłbym z nią zrobić. Mogę ją obejrzeć w ekwipunku. Elektroda spawalnicza, węższy koniec. O! Zgięty koniec. Może teraz za pomocą tej elektrody będę mógł otworzyć kłódkę.
With this type of lock, it's possible to set one's own combination. Now if I only knew what the repairman used.
Okej, mamy kłódkę na szyfr. Niestety nie wiemy, jaki wpisać tutaj kod. Od 0 do 9. Obstawiam, że będziemy potrzebowali jakąś datę. Możesz obracać pokrętłem, klikając na lewym przyciskiem myszy. Kierunek obrotu zależy od pozycji wskaźnika myszy. No tak, mogę obracać albo w lewo, albo w prawo. Ale potrzebowałbym jakiejś daty prawdopodobnie. Tutaj mamy 1900. Może data założenia tej kawiarni? 1900, tu też mieliśmy dwie cyfry. Osiem pięć. 1985? Albo 58? 1985. Okej, spróbujmy. 1985.
I think I'll give it another try.
198.
I'm pretty sure these numbers are correct. Maybe if I try another combination.
1985 nie pasuje. A może 1958?
I'm pretty sure these numbers are correct. Maybe if I try...
Też nie pasuje. 1895?
See here? It really was the year of the neon sign. Good, now I've only got to catch a taxi and hurry to the airport.
Okej, udało się. Tak naprawdę nie mieliśmy dużo kombinacji.
How did it come to this, Laura? Has the hunter become the hunted? What are you doing? That place you're going to is evil. Ancient and twisted. Yes. Sometimes to see the light, we need to enter the darkness and pray we find our way back. Pray, Laura.
Akt 6. Ciemność i zimno.
Thank God, I'm here. The journey through those woods. It seemed the trees wanted to catch, smother, and swallow me. And the blizzard's becoming more and more fierce. I should be glad I've gotten here at all. If Jacek really worked on some nearby excavation site, then this hotel is probably the only place he could have stayed. I'll arrange accommodation for myself here and kill two birds with one stone. Maybe I should use a slightly different name. After all, I'd like to leave as few tracks as possible.
Okej, dotarliśmy do Finlandii. Ale już nie podoba mi się ta aura w tle, jest strasznie zimno. Ja nienawidzę zimy. Już nie mogę doczekać się wiosny, ale takiej pełnej wiosny. Kontener na śmieci.
I wonder how they remove the trash from here. Although it's so cold here, it must be hard for anything to spoil. I definitely don't want to drive anywhere now.
Wygląda jak jakiś Volkswagen. Dobra.
There are more than enough logs, one of the few things which are plentiful here.
Możemy udać się do lobby. I pewnie za chwilę to uczynimy. Ale chodźmy najpierw do jadalni.
Not my problem.
And whose is it then? On top of which, it's impossible to cook well even with poor supplies, but you would have to want to.
Yeah, pardon me then, next time. Miss? Who, how did you get here? Professor, we have a visitor.
Nieznany gość. To jest ten profesorek, Schneider. Dobra, widzę, że coś będziemy mogli wziąć ze stołu, ale może w pierwszej kolejności porozmawiajmy z barmanem.
I'm Harry Koponen. Sorry for not greeting you properly. You took me a bit by surprise. Not many people visit us here. Not this time of year.
But it's not caused by the time of the year, is it? Why such modesty? What about telling the lady here where she has come to?
Oh, the professor likes to exaggerate. There are some strange things going on lately. Yes, but this is an unusual land. Things are a bit different here.
And what things are we talking about now?
Well, they found some newsman in the lake. He had a burning cross carved into his forehead. So now people aren't exactly rushing here, Miss...
Leroy. Madame Leroy. And that dead man. Somebody investigated it, didn't they?
Sure. The police are searching around here pretty thoroughly. Didn't find anything. The newsman was milling about the burnt monastery not far away from here. I told him it is an evil place. But supernatural things seemed ridiculous to him. He didn't believe they exist. Well, his mistake.
Wolny pokój.
I need a room, at least for tonight. I don't really want to go anywhere else in this weather.
Yes, that's wise. But it will be a bit of a problem with the room.
Why? You're not going to tell me you're full, are you?
Well, it's not that simple. I have 2 free rooms, but...
Oh, really? That's odd. I don't know about any free rooms.
You see, that's the problem. I'm speaking about Argo. The company rented all 3 of my rooms. Now only Professor Schneider stays here and the 2 other rooms are empty. But only Argo people can use them.
But I only need to stay until tomorrow. It can't hurt anybody.
I'll be frank with you. I have a contract with Argo. They're going to pay for all my rooms for at least 1 more month. But if I broke the contract, the professor here will blow the whistle. They may cancel the contract and I'll be left with just those few euros from you for tonight. So I'm sorry, but it won't happen.
But where can I go to? First you tell me it's not safe around here and then drive me out into the night?
Jesus, drop it. Okay, wait. Let me think for a while. If we...
No, those rooms belong to Argo. That's not going to change.
Yeah, thanks. I almost forgot that. I'm really sorry. Really.
So that's great. What am I to do now?
Only someone from Argo can do something about it. I mean, only Schneider. You see, my hands are tied in this.
So the technicians from Argo really stay here. No matter what, I have to find a way to get a room.
No, mamy delikatny problem. Za oknem pada śnieg, barman nas nie chce przyjąć, a my prawdopodobnie będziemy chcieli porozmawiać z profesorkiem i poprosić go o wolny pokój. On pracuje dla Argo, więc no ma tutaj wtyki. Inny hotel.
But I really need to get a room here, or at least somewhere near.
Well, there's one place, but it's definitely not near. The road leading there is probably snowbound and looking at that junky car of yours. No, you won't get there. Not with this wreck. You'd get stuck halfway and freeze to death. And moreover, there may be something worse than cold out there. Much worse.
No to mnie pocieszył. Firma Argo.
That Argo, what are they doing here?
The same as everywhere else. They specialize in restoring old buildings, renovating paintings, cleaning old rotten books and such. And here they worked in the burnt monastery. Well, worked is the correct word. Professor Schneider and those two, Bateman and Jacek. Jacek has gone to the States, didn't even say goodbye. And Bateman, well, that's a weird thing too.
Weird? I don't want to be nosy, but when you've already mentioned a dead body.
Well then, you're probably not going to like this. Bateman left to take care of something the very same day as Jacek, but he should have returned a long time ago. I think you know where I'm heading. I said it to the cops too. Gentlemen, Bateman, he's going to come up the same way soon, because there's a beast creeping around. This is exactly what's going to happen. You'll see.
So you're saying that Bateman has disappeared, and Jacek? You said he's left?
Argo had him relocated to San Francisco. It's strange, though, that he's not come back yet. I heard that they were done with the work there.
No, the work in San Francisco isn't done. Something bad happened at the site. Because of that, it wasn't possible to continue. That's why Jacek was to return.
Oh, I know. But you said he had some kind of accident? Supposedly he was hospitalized. Maybe he was severely injured.
Are you listening to me at all? I said that Argo called and that he was released from the hospital long ago. But if he's not back by tomorrow, I'll continue the work myself.
Sure, especially when you can barely get up from the table.
And whose fault is that? If there was a decent cook here instead of you using whatever you use to cook that stuff, I would be just fine.
Yeah, people are lining up to work here. Well, so much for Argo.
Co się stało z Batemanem?
So you think Bateman is dead too?
Well, he left a message for the professor saying that he's going to accompany Jacek to Helsinki and buy some spare parts they needed for that digging of theirs here. It was almost a month ago.
So you think...
The professor says that although those spare parts are hard to get, he certainly should be back already. In my opinion, he got them, was on his way back, and when he was somewhere around here in the woods, then...
Then what?
This is a weird place, Madame Leroy. Sometimes a few meters is enough to make someone lose their way. Even before, people got lost here from time to time. Some people just disappeared. And now that corpse... Moreover, someone like Bateman was the type to come across something.
What do you mean?
The man was odd. Such a quiet person. Always lost in thought, and he never smiled. This Bateman, he lost his wife, Beatrice, somewhere in America, and he looked like he was waiting for death to come to him, too. And that's not good, because he who waits will live to see Miss Leroy. And then he had this terrible argument with Jacek? Jacek was greedy, money-grubbing, so if it was about money... But the one who shouted like mad was Bateman. Would you believe that? Weird guy, really.
Wyjazd Jaczka.
What about that Jacek? I think I may know him. He didn't leave some contact information? Don't you know where I can find him?
Well, you're not the only one who would like to know that. He was to return here from America. Schneider is still waiting for him, and the man just vanished into thin air. Maybe he got involved in something bad.
Why do you think that?
Normally, he wasn't a bad person. Unlike Schneider and that weirdo Bateman, it was at least possible to talk with him or to play some poker. At least when he'd not had too much to drink. They say he had problems with drinking even before, and I can believe it. When it went to his head, he totally lost control. Maybe that's why he argued so violently with Bateman before he left.
Didn't he write his address in the visitor's book?
No, I only have a contract with Argo, and anyone who works for them can stay here. Snyder deals with that. No one tells me anything.
And he's been away for as long as Jacek?
Exactly, it's been about a month.
Kłótnia między Jaczkiem a Batemanem. Dyskretne pytanie.
You said that Bateman argued about something with Jacek. When was that approximately? And do you know what their argument was about?
No offense, but you ask a lot of questions. You know that? But I'll tell you, because it really was impossible not to overhear it. I was just repairing the railing in the hall, so I heard it firsthand.
Probably something trivial.
Hardly. They screamed like two psychos. Mostly Bateman. I couldn't believe he could get so angry. They squabbled about some book. They called it a manuscript or something. About some old book. Can you understand that?
Ancient documents can be extremely valuable, often in the tens of thousands of euros.
Well, that would explain it. After I left, they probably argued again in the lobby. I think one of them threw a hammer at the other one. I found it there.
And the fight, when did it happen?
About a month ago.
So immediately before Bateman accompanied him to Helsinki. Then Jacek went to the States.
Wait, you think Jacek would... because of that book? No, I wouldn't say that. Although, if he was drinking hard before he left...
It definitely has some logic to it. This is very interesting. Could Bateman be the first victim of Jacek? That dead man from the lake, the slashed newsman, is his doing for sure. Something tells me that Bateman may not have left for Helsinki at all.
No, zaczyna robić się ciekawie. Profesor Schneider.
Schneider's the man at the table? From Argo.
You bet. He's their boss. From what I overheard, he's the only one who actually knows what they're looking for. I guess it's a really big secret. Come on, tell us. What are you looking for up there?
That's hardly your business. I'd rather you look for those pills for me.
You see, this is how much fun I have here. Theo, I mean Jacek. Now that guy was funny. At least when he was sober.
You shouldn't have sold him any alcohol then. We came here to work, not to get drunk.
Yeah, you'd have them work the whole day in some damn crypt and after that have them go straight to bed. Maybe you should have bought some robots with you instead.
A crypt? Oh, what do you know about a crypt? If Bateman or Jacek had said anything to you about our research, it's classified. Secret. Do you understand?
Yes, I get it. As if anyone cared.
Our rivals, relic, thieves, everyone cares. So just don't talk about anything you've heard, okay?
And this basically is what has been going on here every day for several weeks now. Sweet, isn't it?
Okej. Widzę, że barman niespecjalnie przypada za Schneiderem. Ale fajny jest gościu. Taki wygadany. Praktycznie wszystko nam powiedział. Dziwne wydarzenie w okolicy.
You said strange things were occurring here even before.
Yeah, I probably said that.
Can you tell me something more about it?
Is there a point in shocking you with even more?
Do I look shocked? Tell me.
All right, but they're probably only myths.
Those tend to be the most interesting.
This is a weird place. Do you know who Ayatara is? It's a woodland devil, a she-demon. Some say she's the mother of all evil. Supposedly, that's why they built the monastery here.
A demon?
We have legends here that she has her lair somewhere near the lake. So when a tourist gets lost in the woods, folks immediately start gossiping about her abducting them.
But then the tourists are found, aren't they? And all is resolved?
Sure, most of the time.
Klasztor.
You've mentioned a monastery. Can you tell me more about it?
Some monks lived there once, a strange order. They were very reserved and uncommunicative. There were some very strange rumors about them, but people always talk too much.
For example, what?
For example, that they worshipped death. Hard to say if there's any truth in it. True is that when the monastery burned down several years ago, people were saying that they burned themselves voluntarily.
But you don't think so.
Well, there's another version according to which some young Frenchman started the fire. He was said to be some artist and wanted to destroy the order or something.
I see, but you don't believe that?
I'll put it this way. Some days before the fire, a young Frenchman stopped here for lunch, and he was heading there. Coincidence, is it?
But you just said that it's been several years already. Maybe you don't remember it well.
Well, it has been some time. Anyway, the monastery burned down and the monks disappeared, and that's good.
The monastery interests me more and more.
Droga do klasztoru.
Could you tell me the way to the monastery?
Well, look, I really don't want to be the one who sends you there. You want to know the way anywhere else, no problem, but there... Anyway, I can't stop you from taking a map and doing what you please, but I've warned you.
Na razie.
See you later.
Dość długa i wyczerpująca rozmowa, ale dowiedzieliśmy się kilka istotnych faktów. Lodówka z napojami.
Hey, if you want one of those lemonades, it's €3.
3 euro, co ja mam w ekwipunku? Teoretycznie mam portfel. Mam zdjęcie Teodora Jaczka.
That doesn't make any sense.
Może uda się kupić napój.
I'd like an iced tea.
Sure, it will be €3. Take whichever you like from the fridge. They all cost the same.
Here you are.
3 euro za zwykłą herbatę. Nie wiem, po ile teraz stoi euro, ale wydaje mi się, że 3 euro to jest strasznie dużo.
A normal iced tea. Maybe too icy for this weather.
Ale dobra, udało nam się wziąć coś w stylu iced tea, lemon tea.
No, I definitely can't.
Okej. Lodówka z napojami, bar. Teoretycznie mogę mu się przyjrzeć.
It seems that all they receive here is one channel, and I just switched that over. I should switch it back to the original channel. The snow is quite boring after all.
Mapa Inarii i okolic.
Those maps are for free. Promotion, you know. Feel free to take one.
O, chociaż tyle dobrego. Nie musieliśmy za nią płacić.
Nice, isn't it? Guests use it to call me when I'm not here.
Okej.
Pickled cheese, chips, peanuts. I guess the chef hasn't been here for some time, if ever.
Chipsy, orzeszki. Nie, dziękuję. Zjadłbym sobie pizzę. Dobra, pogadajmy z Klausem Schneiderem. Gość wygląda, jakby umierał, łapie się za brzuch czy tam za serce. Zaraz wymiotuje.
Mr. Schneider, I need to speak with you about something important.
Fine, talk. But in brief, bitte schön. I don't feel well and I want to go to sleep soon.
Sure, I'll try to keep you as briefly as possible. It's about a room that your company has booked here.
Oh, firstly, it's not my company. I only work for Argo, and secondly, who am I speaking with? Didn't your parents tell you that it's polite to introduce yourself first?
Of course, I'm sorry.
Policjantka, zagubiona turystka, oddana miłośniczka zabytków. Przecież nie powiemy, że jesteśmy z policji.
You're right. Sorry. I'm Laura Leroy. I came from France, and I'm taking pictures of various forgotten landmarks in the area.
So you are something like an enthusiastic tourist, Madame Leroy.
I prefer places that tourists tend to avoid. So, no, I don't consider myself a tourist. Quite to the contrary. I'm interested in everything dusty and forgotten.
I like that. And why are you here?
I heard there's an old, forgotten monastery around here.
Well, a monastery, you say.
Wolny pokój.
Mr. Schneider, I really need a room tonight. Couldn't I use one of those empty rooms?
Unfortunately, it's out of the question. Argo's policy in such matters is clear. Rooms rented by the company may be used only by its employees. Nobody else.
Kłótnia między kolegami. Dyskretne pytanie.
I heard that your two colleagues had a big disagreement about a month ago, before they both disappeared.
Who said that? Mr. Koppinen interests himself in things that aren't his business, as usual.
What was it about?
Sorry, but it's none of your business, Madame Leroy. I'm not in the mood to talk about the personal conflicts of my colleagues.
So it was something personal?
Excessive curiosity, Miss Leroy, is a very bad character trait, and doubly so in women. But it may comfort you a bit that I myself don't know and don't care at all. Jacek liked to have a drink sometimes, and then he behaved accordingly. A sad story, yes, but there's no need to look for anything else in it.
Dolegliwości Schneidera.
I couldn't overlook that you have some serious problem with your stomach, Professor. What's wrong?
You're really a remarkable observer.
What exactly do you suffer from? Maybe I can help you.
I doubt that.
Lekarstwo na dolegliwości.
Professor, I know you don't feel well and you don't feel like talking, but with all respect, isn't it a bit short-sighted to refuse my help?
And why do you think you're the one who can help me?
Lekarstwo na żołądek.
So what's wrong with you?
Everything you can imagine. Gastric ulcer, digestive juices, secretion disorder, problems with parasympathetic nerves.
And you suffer from these all the time?
Sometimes more, sometimes less. It greatly depends on my diet, which is the reason it's so bad now. Meals here are appalling, schrecklich. All the time. But today's dinner was really something else.
I'm sorry to hear that. What about some medicine? Do you take anything?
Oh, sure, I do. I have special antacids I brought from Germany. They're really strong because nothing else helps me anymore.
Poszukiwanie lekarstwa.
Where do you keep those antacids?
Do I look like I know where I keep them?
So you forgot them somewhere.
That's obvious, isn't it?
Right. Let's try something else. When did you last take them?
Today before lunch. I was in the monastery, but I put them back in my pocket immediately. I clearly remember that. You think it didn't occur to me?
You've probably looked here, so I think you must have left them there.
Oh, you're a real genius. That didn't occur to me.
It's unusual for something to just fall out of a pocket. Didn't you take something else out of it?
No. Moreover, they were still there when I looked for the keys to the crypt. The keys! But yes, I couldn't find them, so I emptied all my pockets. I must have forgotten the pills there, in the caravan by the monastery.
So that's it. Maybe you shouldn't be so quick to refuse help when offered.
You're right. It was silly. I'll get them in the morning. I have to survive somehow till then. I'm not going there now in such weather.
So Schneider left his pills in the monastery not far from here. Maybe this could be a way to get a room here?
No, o tym samym pomyślałem. My udamy się do klasztoru, znajdziemy jego leki, wrócimy, podamy mu, a on w zamian jeden pokój nam odstąpi.
Could you give me simple directions to the monastery?
That's not possible. The monastery is absolutely closed to the public.
But I came here specifically because of it. I would really like to see it.
There are exploration and reconstruction works underway in the monastery, and no tourist can disturb them. And if you don't believe me and try to get there, you should know that Argo pays to have a guard there. He definitely won't allow you inside.
Moreover, there are only ruins left. You'll be disappointed.
You can't just go inside, Frau Leroy.
Not even if I'm accompanied by you? I came a long way.
That's not possible, even if I wanted to. Right now, I'm not in any condition to go anywhere. Try asking me tomorrow when I'm feeling better or have my remedy back.
Na razie.
Goodbye, Professor.
No w jakiś sposób będziemy musieli dostać się do klasztoru. Będziemy musieli też przechytrzyć stróża. Mapa Inari. Okej, mogę ją rozłożyć.
It's a map of the area where the ruins of the monastery should be. Jacek worked there.
Ale potrzebowałbym trasę. W sumie wpadł mi pewien pomysł do głowy.
Mr. Schneider, could you please mark the way to the monastery on my map?
I'm afraid I can't. Only Argo personnel and associates are allowed into the monastery. I have to be firm in this, Frau Leroy.
Czyli jednak drogi do klasztoru mi nie wyznaczył.
I don't know why
Ten gościu na pewno też mi tego nie wyznaczy. No dobra. Możemy wyjść na parking i się tam rozejrzeć. W sumie mogliśmy udać się jeszcze do lobby na górę. Też chętnie to uczynię. Bo wydaje mi się, że tutaj już sobie wszystko obadałem. Porozmawiałem z każdą postacią. Aczkolwiek...
What can I do for you, Madam Leroy?
Brak nowych opcji dialogowych.
See you later.
No dobra. Wyjdźmy zatem na zewnątrz.
So before Jacek went away, he had committed at least one other murder. That body in the lake. Could that have been an accidental victim? What if he's not in the States anymore? What if he came back already? That's not a very pleasant feeling.
Nie bój się, Lara. Nic tobie nie grozi.
Whoever they belong to, I don't think they need them in this foul weather. There are more than enough logs, one of the few things which are plentiful here.
No i bardzo dobrze. Opał w taką pogodę na pewno się przydaje. A teraz drewno jest drogie. O, weszliśmy do lobby. Słychać jak drzewo strzela w kominku. Może coś przy tej ławce znajdę. Młotek.
A hammer belonging to Argo. They probably use it for excavation.
I w sumie tylko tyle. Zamknięte drzwi.
I used to play chess a lot as a kid. A strictly logical, predictable, and elegant game. I love it still, but I don't have enough time to play so much anymore. I used to play chess.
Może coś będę mógł wziąć z kominka. Na przykład młynek do kawy.
I'll take it, but I should give it back later. After all, it's a nice piece, and someone would miss it quite a lot.
Mamy również szczęki dziadka do orzechów.
There's no sense in using this device when it's empty. I could use it even without anything inside it, but
Okej, a może będę mógł otworzyć butelkę?
I'll hold the bottle like this, allowing me to put the nutcracker around it. The bottle lid is now tightly held by the jaws of the nutcracker. There's no sense. Brute force didn't help, but more brute force did. The lid is now loose. The bottle is now loose again.
Ciekawe.
That tea wasn't bad at all.
Wypiłem herbatę, mam pustą butelkę. O kurde. Korba młynka. A cały młynek zniknął z mojego ekwipunku. Rozumiem. Czyli potrzebna mi była tylko i wyłącznie korba. No tak. Taka prowizoryczna klamka. Stare pianino.
Beautiful old piano. I wonder who plays it here. Beautiful.
Czasami mam wrażenie, że Larę dubbinguje kto inny. Tak jakby niektóre kwestie wypowiadała inna kobieta.
This door must lead to the dining room below, but there's no handle on this side. This door must...
Dobra, tutaj nic nie mogę zdziałać. Jest jakiś schowek pod schodami. Ale to też na nic. Zamknięte drzwi.
It's locked. Room number 3.
Pokój numer 3.
I'd say that this won't lead...
Korpom tego nie otworzę.
It's locked.
Obstawiam, że to są te 2 pokoje, które są wynajęte przez Argo. Czy tam 3 pokoje nawet.
It's locked.
Ale wszystkie są zamknięte. Nigdzie się nie dostanę. Okej, dobra. Mamy korbę młynka, pustą butelkę, młotek, mapa Inari i okolic. Co w takim razie miałbym zrobić dalej? No w jakiś sposób muszę dostać się do klasztoru. Ale teoretycznie nikt nie chce mi wyznaczyć tam drogi na mapie.
To get Schneider's remedy from the monastery is probably the only way to get a room here. Not that I feel like driving in the night, and moreover, I don't know the way.
No właśnie, w jaki sposób musimy poznać drogę do klasztoru? Pusta butelka, młotek.
Professor?
Yeah?
Brak nowych opcji dialogowych.
Goodbye, Professor.
Co jeszcze bym mógł tutaj wykonać?
That doesn't... The Argo Company logo. I've seen it so many times in the last couple of days.
A może młotek mu oddamy?
Professor, do you know what happened in the lobby? The wall there was damaged with your hammer.
It's not my hammer. I work with more gentle tools. The whole originates from an awkward incident between Mr. Bateman and Jacek.
So one of them did that?
This is Jacek's tool. He probably got angry and threw it at Bateman, but I don't know very much about that. I wasn't here.
You know what their argument was about.
No, at least not exactly. They worked together on restoring a collapsing crypt, and they were arguing almost constantly. Maybe they were quarreling about some work procedure.
Mr. Koponen, I've found something interesting in the lobby. There's a hole in the wall there and a lot of broken plaster under it, and a hammer marked Argo lying on the floor.
Oh no, I hope you haven't touched any of it.
Well,
You didn't pick up the hammer, did you?
Zaprzeczenie wzięcia młotka. Nie zaprzeczaj zabrania młotka.
and why is it so important whether I touch the hammer or not?
It's one of my weapons against Argo. A ridiculous one, but I have to clutch at every straw I can get hold of. The hammer and the hole in the wall are remnants of the worst argument between Bateman and Jacek. They also broke several of my antique coffee grinders I used to collect with my wife for years. Dumbasses and morons they are. And worse, when Argo is able to pay me again, that will be my only real proof for demanding damage compensation.
I see. And don't you happen to know which of them was so enraged?
Well, both of them. But I think the hammer was thrown by Theo. He's such an angry little jerk.
Thanks.
I'm always glad to share funny village stories.
So Jacek actually used force to attack Bateman, not only threats.
Mapa Inari.
I don't know why I should show him the map. Mr. Schneider, could you please mark the way to the monastery on my map?
I'm afraid I can't. Only Argo personnel and associates are allowed into the monastery. I have to be firm.
Am I to use the... I don't know why I should show...
Co w tej kwestii miałbym tutaj począć?
Why should I give him... I don't think it...
Brak nowych opcji dialogowych. Włączony telewizor. Okej. Czyli ręcznie też mogę przełączać kanały. Mapa Inari i okolic.
It's a map of the area where the ruins of the monastery should be. Jacek worked there. It's a list of all the interesting landmarks around here.
Okej.
What can I do for you, Madam Leroy?
Droga do klasztoru.
Could you tell me the way to the monastery?
Well, look, I really don't want to be the one who sends you there. You want to know the way anywhere else, no problem, but there... Anyway, I can't stop you from taking a map and doing what you please, but I've warned you.
See you later.
Ale w jaki sposób mam tam dotrzeć? Zdjęcie Teodora Jaczka.
I have a photo here. Could you take a look?
That's Theodore. How did you get that photo?
To tell the truth, I know Mr. Jacek a little.
Strange coincidence, isn't it?
Dziewczyna. Krewna Jaczka.
I'm his girlfriend.
Let me guess, he ran away and you came to square accounts with him. Am I right?
Sort of. Moreover, I'm interested in historical monuments, and you have that monastery here.
Well, in that case, you'll have to make do with the ruin, because Jacek is in the States presently. Bad luck, isn't it?
I shouldn't show it to him. How would I explain?
No, nie mam zielonego pojęcia, jak mam udać się do ruin. Chyba że... Mapą będę mógł kliknąć na samochód i Lara automatycznie sama się tam uda.
To get Schneider's remedy from the monastery is probably the only way to get a room here. Not that I feel like driving.
Do tego nie znam drogi.
The ice has to be quiet. When I imagine the darkness under it, a frozen lake can be a very scary place. Max could talk about that. I don't know why I should show him the map.
Żeby zaznaczył mi drogę do klasztoru. Czy to jest takie trudne?
It's a map of the area where the ruins of the This map isn't exactly the best quality. I'm not surprised it's for free.
Mapa nie jest zbyt dokładna.
It's a list of all... There's a lot of beautiful places in the photos. But no monastery hidden in the woods. Damn. It's a list of all... I don't know why...
No nie wiem, utknąłem. Mam takie wrażenie, że utknąłem. Słuchajcie, moi drodzy, w tym miejscu zakończymy ten odcineczek. Mam nadzieję, że wam się podobał. Mam nadzieję, że w kolejnym odcinku już uda nam się wyznaczyć drogę do klasztoru i będziemy mogli kontynuować. A tymczasem do usłyszenia.